kind of soften your gaze, bring your attention inward. Go ahead and do that. So let's just take a nice big collective deep breath in. And on the exhale, go ahead and just bring that attention inward. And if it feels good to just take another couple of cleansing deep breaths, go ahead and do that. And now just take a moment to remember what called you here to this space. And maybe you take a moment to set an intention for our time together over these next couple of weeks. And now go ahead and just offer yourself some gratitude for showing up, for doing something positive for yourself to start this year with intention, with a new creative community to support you. And maybe you close just by giving yourself a nice hug. And then just go ahead and maybe shake out any nervous energy. Take another big deep breath and open your eyes. Return to this space. And we'll just start off by introducing ourselves just briefly. You can just share your name. If you have a business and you want to tell us a little bit about it, then you can do that too. Or if you have something like a community, a podcast, you can just introduce that. Or maybe just share why you were called to this space, why you were interested in some fresh photos, and taking a little bit of time to get a little bit more clear on your magic, all of the things that make you special and make you unique and add so much value to this community and to the world. I will start, and then we're just going to do like a little popcorn style. So if you have your camera on, that's a signal that you're happy to share. So I will just pass it over to someone with their camera on, and then we'll just keep doing that until everyone has had a turn. But as an example, I'm Shannon Chavez. You guys probably know me as Shannon the Good Witch. But I created this space because I've been an entrepreneur in Pittsburgh for almost 10 years, since leaving my job as a news anchor in the spring of 2016. So this April, it will be 10 years since I made that transition to entrepreneurship. And something that I've just realized over the years is that the more clear I get, not just about what I do, but about who I am, the more aligned opportunities and connections I tend to attract. And a couple of years ago, actually a few years ago in 2022, I became a certified purpose coach. And so it's been really fun over the last couple of years to be able to blend photography and coaching. And this is something that I've created kind of with that mix of skill sets. And I just really love helping other people to get a little bit more clear on their magic, on their purpose, especially small business owners or community leaders, anybody who's doing something to really help their community, to help the world with their gifts, to get a little bit more clarity and to help them communicate that message so that they can attract more aligned people, clients, friends, collaborators into their space. So that's why I am here, and I'm just so grateful to have all of you come together. I know most of you, but I know a lot of you haven't met each other. Some of you have, but I'm just really excited to give you all an opportunity to introduce yourselves too. So I think first I am going to pass it over to Jessica Knapp, because she has actually been in this space before. So I hope that's okay with you, Jess. I'm going to start with you, and you can go ahead and unmute.
Yeah, can you hear me just to make sure? Okay, perfect. Hi, I'm Jess. Yeah, I've done this before. I own Lemony Lenses Videography, so I do brand videography for especially small businesses. That's where my passion is. Really wanting to tell their stories and kind of show who they are and their personality and the person behind the business. Um, and yeah, I've done this before and I found it extremely helpful to kind of help me focus on a lot of the why behind what I want to do and forming the mission statement behind it and everything there. And so I'm back and I am finding myself in the new year still trying to kind of hone like the specifics of my business, especially for marketing purposes. So like I'm like 95% of the way there. And I'm hoping kind of like finding going through this again and kind of finding that reconnection, which is the best part of this is like you really connect with who you are and your mission and your purpose and the why behind what you're doing. So I'm excited to be doing this again and kind of hopefully pushing that last little bit and like really getting a solid, why behind everything and whatnot. So yeah. Did I answer everything?
You did. Now, if you want to just choose
Okay.
someone else and popcorn it over, pass the mic over to whoever you think looks like they might be ready to go next.
Okay. Oh God, no pressure, everybody. I'm gonna popcorn over to Katie because I know Katie.
Hello, everybody. I apologize because I was at Drew's until 3 a.m., so I'm a little unwell this morning. He was like, "Tell Shannon." I said, "Hey." So I'm Katie. I own Juicy Studio Aesthetic Salon in Sharpsburg. I've had my own business for almost 5 years now. I have my bachelor's degree in business marketing, and then I'm obviously a licensed esthetician. So I do brow services, facial, spray tans, lash lifts. So my whole why for my business is I want people to leave my business feeling better than whenever they arrived at my business. I definitely want people to feel confident, relax, just feel really good about themselves. My goal with this whole thing is I would like to attract more of my ideal clients. And I have a good idea of what I want my ideal clients to be. And now it's just kind of attracting that in and just being more confident in myself because I feel like I sometimes still, even after 5 years of owning a business, have that like imposter syndrome. So yeah, but I'm excited to network with other people and get to know other people. And I feel like Pittsburgh's just a really good city to do that in because it's kind of like a small town feeling in a city. So yeah, I'm really happy to do this. Okay, let me
Yeah, and you
try.
can just go ahead and pass it over to someone else.
I will pass over to Allie, please.
Hello, nice to see some of you again, and nice to meet some of you guys as well. My name is Allie. I have a lot of things going on. Primarily, I am a painter, I'm an artist. My business also involves a little bit of writing, a little bit of like mindfulness, yoga, and some advocacy as well. And I think if I were to like put a mission on it. It definitely changes, and sometimes it's just self-expression, but it's like to help myself and others get out of survival mode and into like a more dreamer space. And I'm here because I know the magic of Shannon, both with her camera and just with who she is, and like helping people realize their mission in life. And I'm also in this season of life where I feel like I'm like weirder than ever, clearer than ever on who I am and what I'm trying to do. So like this opportunity really feels like a nice like kind of almost announcement to myself and to the world in that. So I will pass it to Kristen.
Hi, I'm Kristen. I am a Pittsburgh-based photographer. which is kind of like my like side business. And then I'm also a graduate student. I'm graduating this May with my master's degree in art therapy and counseling. So I thought this course would be really good to kind of combine like my own little business with uh the mindfulness based and like really sitting down thinking about like what my goals are for my business and also for myself. Um, so yeah, I don't know. That's all. I've had my photography business since I s- ha 2016, but like I really started picking up with it in like 2020. But it's still just kind of like a little side business I do. I'll pass it to Jenna.
Hi everyone. My name's Jenna. So nice to see you all and meet some of you. Um, my business is evolving. I wouldn't quite call it a business. It's more of a community. I have an Instagram called The Kindness Collective, where I host like community events and I also do reflections on Instagram. And then I also just kind of am like dipping my toe into selling art at like markets. And I make affirmation watercolor paintings. So yeah, I'm still kind of figuring out what everything looks like, but I think that this is a great opportunity for me to get a little bit more comfortable with um, being kind of like a business owner, quote unquote. Not something that I really identify with right now, but um, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to know myself a little bit more so that I can get a little bit more aligned in what I'm looking to do. So yeah, and I'm so happy to be here. I'll pass to Darby.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to meet some of you and to see my buddies again. Um, I have a podcast called New Septembers. I talk about creative authenticity and interview creatives sometimes to talk about their creative authenticity and what life looks like and how every creative's life looks so dramatically different, but is so perfect for them. And I think I just started season 2 last week. So, um, yeah, this comes at a perfect time. Um, but yeah, I found my way here similarly to Ali because Shannon's energy is just so magical. And I think every time people are around her, they just like become their authentic selves, like in the moment. So I'm so excited to see what magic comes out of this. Yeah, and to feel the confidence that that brings. And I will pass it over. I feel like Shannon said your name is Stella. Yeah.
Stella, I think you're still muted.
There we go. There we go.
There you go.
So sorry, I am having difficulties. My laptop is broken, so I've been trying to use this on my phone. And I'm like, I'm not used to this. But hi everyone, I am Stella. I'm owner of Above All Social, which is a social media marketing um business. It's sort of like my part-time right now. I do full-time at a restaurant. I work events and do marketing there. So I have worked with Shannon a ton. She's awesome. And I'm always looking for like a refresh of content. So that's my why of doing this. And and I've been sick, sorry. So my voice is like a little scratchy. But I've kind of come up with a word for the year and it's been refresh. So I've been looking to like refresh my content. Um, I feel like it's always nice to have just like a refreshment of content every 3 to 4 months. And I feel like I've been doing that with you, Shannon, the past like few months or 3 or 4 months. Like I just feel like there's something about it, just getting like a refreshment of content and getting to put it out there. Um, trying to think of what else I can I can say. I'm like in my like cozy Sunday like feels I feel like Sunday my mind just shuts off and I'm like, what am I even doing with my life? I'm just catching up. But no, yeah, I am super excited about this. I also love the studio manor. I feel like it's such a cute little studio, and I feel like those photos there always come out looking really chic and professional. So I'm really excited to work with Shannon on photos and just being there. It'll be really fun. I don't know if
Oh
there's
my
anybody
gosh.
else in the group.
I think that was it. Yeah.
Is
Anyone
that
else? I think everyone got a chance to share. Thank you guys. I feel so loved and so grateful. This is such a cool group, and it just feels like there's so much creativity here. I just love the energy. So, thank you all so much for just sharing your Sunday with me, especially Sunday afternoon. The last time we did this, we started at 9 a.m., and I was like, no way we're doing that again. So, I hope you got a chance to like ease into the day a little bit. But I am looking outside right now and it's all of a sudden snowing again. So I know you guys are all here in Pittsburgh. So we've got some snow. This is a perfect, cozy afternoon just to stay in. But also, I am already recording. Just wanted to share if you do have to like hop off at any point, don't worry about like saying goodbye or anything. I will send out this recording so that you have it to review again and again. And I'm going to start sharing my screen. I'm not sure if I'll be able to see you guys once I'm sharing my screen. So if for some reason you have like a question or something, just go ahead and unmute yourself and go ahead and like whatever you need to ask, say, go for it. But we don't have many slides. I am just going to like give a little kind of intro to what we're doing, and then we'll dive into the workbook and have some time to journal. I am hoping to let you guys go by 2:45. So a little less than an hour left. And there's going to be another little opportunity to share at the end if you would like. You don't have to share at all. You're welcome to just kind of like keep workshopping throughout the week. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say before I go ahead and share my screen again here. So share, present. Can you guys all see that? Okay, cool. And I can still see you right now, but I don't know if that will mess with the slides. So I'm going to minimize that screen there. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next slide here. So welcome to Own Your Magic. This is a community empowerment and portrait experience. And we're going to clarify our mission and build aligned personal brands over the next couple of weeks. I hope that is my intention. Whether you're refining a brand that you've already built or you're finally giving yourself permission to begin, I hope you'll leave this class feeling lit up and empowered with a newfound sense of purpose, energy, and excitement for your work. And there's a couple of you guys that are here in the space in these photos. I hope you don't mind me sharing them. But you can expect to walk away with a deeper understanding of your personal power, a stronger sense of how to position your story, values, and skills in a way that attracts aligned opportunities, and a community of purpose-driven creatives to cheer you on. And of course, some photos that you can share on your website or social media or anywhere you see fit. If you want to print one out and hang it on your wall just to remind you of how powerful you are, I would love to see that too. Why your brand matters. So visibility attracts opportunity. When you clearly communicate who you are and what you stand for through your words and visuals, you naturally magnetize the people who resonate with you and repel the ones who don't. Two, people buy from people they trust. A strong personal brand builds trust and relatability. People don't just want a service, they want to feel a connection. And your personal brand is what humanizes your work and builds loyalty. Three, it differentiates you in a crowded space. So whether you consider yourself to be an artist, an entrepreneur, or side hustler, chances are you're not the only one offering what you offer. Your personal brand is what makes you different. It's not just about what you do, it's about who you are. And four, it helps you feel aligned and authentic. When your brand reflects your essence, showing up becomes effortless. You don't have to perform, you get to be you, and that's your greatest asset. Your content, offers, and visuals become an extension of your core message and mission, and it's easier to market yourself without feeling like a salesman. And so, in this workshop today, we're going to start with crafting a mission statement. And before we actually get to the who, what, why, how of all the things that you do, we're going to do a little bit of reflection using my Own Your Magic framework. I think it could just be really nice to have a mission statement kind of as the foundation of building our brands and what that actually looks like. So that's what we're starting with that. Next week, we're going to move on to getting a little bit more clarity on kind of the look, the visuals, and we're going to design some personal branding mood boards in Pinterest. But for now, we're going to work on our mission statements. And so a clear and concise mission statement can serve as your North Star, a foundational piece of your brand, business, podcast, community, etc., that communicates your purpose and drives your decisions, offerings, and messaging. Unlike a vision statement, which is more about the future you want to create, a mission statement is rooted in the present. It's about what you're committed to doing right now. And you can return to this framework over and over again throughout your business and personal growth journey to reflect as you continue to evolve. As you evolve, your mission, your brand, and your business will evolve too. So let's go ahead and get started. And you can download and open the Own Your Magic Part 1 PDF that I've dropped in the chat or that I emailed yesterday. And I'm going to share that as well on my screen so that we can move through the prompts together. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second and then pull up this PDF and share again. Hopefully I could do that. There we go. Okay, so this little mini mission statement workshop is to help you communicate the unique way you're influencing the world without shrinking or over explaining. And I'm gonna want to see you guys again, so I'm gonna have you guys over here. Cool. All right. So first, let's tap into our power by reflecting on the following areas that make us magic. So I love an acronym. I feel like it's like a part of my Virgo brain, like wanting to kind of like keep things organized and helping me to flow through all of the millions of jumbled thoughts in my head. So I hope this helps you guys too, and it's easy to follow. M stands for motivation. A stands for adversity. G stands for gifts. I is for influence. And C is for credibility. We're actually going to work through the exact same acronym, but with different words next week. And I'll actually share the PDF that you could take with you and like start reflecting on it over the next week if you would like to before we wrap up today. But so the first time I shared this workshop, we did it all together. And this time I feel like it's a little bit better to kind of break it up. So we're going to start with M for motivation. So you guys can just take maybe 3 minutes or so to just jot down what deeper purpose fuels your work, what lights you up about helping others. So you can go ahead and just take some notes on that. And then I'll let you know when a few minutes has passed and we can move on to the next one. That 3 minutes went really fast. So go ahead and just take another minute to kind of wrap up on that one there. And of course, you can continue reflecting after this call. But just for the sake of time, we won't take too much time on each reflection prompt, just so that we can make sure we get through them all. And there's a little time at the end for some sharing and kind of like putting it all together into a mission statement. But I'll go ahead and move on to A for adversity. So go ahead and take another few minutes to reflect on what challenges that you've faced that now shape the way that you serve. All right, and this next one I feel like is probably my favorite. I think it can be really fun just to reflect on all of the things that just kind of come naturally to you, your gifts, the things that people tend to compliment you on. So just take a little bit of time to reflect on your natural strength, your superpowers, your creative skills. And of course, you can think about some of those skills that you've developed over the years through practice. But I have a feeling that if you took the time to develop those skills, it's something that really like called you or that maybe kind of spoke to you in some way, came naturally to you in some way at the beginning, and you've really been able to develop that over time. All right. And then I stands for influence. So we're going to think here about who we're influencing, maybe specifically through our work, but also just by all the people that you interact with, maybe in your family, in your friend groups, who is impacted not just by your work, but by you and your energy, directly or indirectly. So maybe just like as an example, if the directly or indirectly feels a little bit confusing, um, say Allie sold a piece of artwork to uh, someone that came to one of her markets, and then they have that piece of art on their wall, and somebody else notices it, or maybe they bought it to be a gift for somebody. That impact just continues to like ripple out. So just kind of think a little bit about who might be impacted by all of the work that you're doing in the world. All right. And last but not least, just take a few minutes to think about your credibility and all of the things that make you trustworthy. So, what experiences, and these could just be like your life experiences, not necessarily like a class that you took or something like that. But if you do have like a degree in something or a certification, um, or if you've just been like studying something for a long time, like self-study, what experiences, training, or accolades make you trustworthy and help people to feel like maybe they want to hire you or just like listen to your podcast or come to one of your community events or something like that, even just follow along with you on social media or something and take some of the uh, educational tips or things like that that you're sharing and trust what you have to offer. All right, so go ahead and just kind of finish up with taking some notes there. And next, we're going to move into actually kind of putting our mission statements together. And we're going to start with a framework that looks like this that's here on the screen. I help who, through what, by how, because why. And so when you're thinking about who you help, um, you're going to think about who you serve, and you can kind of look back to maybe that influence category, where you took some notes about maybe who is impacted by your work directly or indirectly. And I guess this would be more of the direct uh, person that you're helping. And then thinking about what problem that you help them solve or something that you help them to overcome. And that might come from what you reflected on, some of the challenges that you face that now shape the way that you serve. But if there is something else that you didn't think of, maybe that will kind of come through differently when you think more specifically about your offer, that you're creating this mission statement around. And then you're going to think a little bit about how you do it. And so maybe you kind of look back to your gifts, some of those natural strengths, those skills that you've developed, all of your superpowers, or even your credibility or the experiences, training, accolades that you have that help you to do what you do. And then last but not least, just kind of adding in why that matters to you and to them. So not necessarily just thinking about your motivation, that could totally be a part of it. But I know like when I reflect on my motivation, sometimes it's kind of like my internal work. But in my mission statement, I really like to think more about why that might matter to the person that I'm sharing this mission statement with. And not that you necessarily need to use this mission statement and post it on your website or on your socials. You absolutely could. You can use it as kind of like a little elevator pitch when you're introducing yourself, but it could also just be something that really fuels you and kind of reminds you of why you're doing all the things that you're doing and gives you a little bit more purpose so that you feel fueled to keep going on some of those tougher days. But I hope that all makes sense. So just go ahead and take some time to kind of brainstorm who you serve, what problem you help them solve, how you do it, maybe differently than somebody else might do it, and why that matters, not just to you, but to them as well, to that person that you're serving. And then we're going to put it all together on the next page. But right now, just like brain dump everything that comes to mind. And I'll give you guys maybe 5 minutes on this one. And it's 222, by the way. So this is a reminder we're on the right path. Got our angels here with us. All right, so now we are going to put it all together, and it's totally okay if you want to change up the flow of this a little bit, but just an example of putting it all together with this kind of like who, what, how, why framework is I help leaders through the fear of introducing themselves by giving them the tools to show up and serve with confidence because the world needs the unique magic they have to offer. So that's just something that I came up with based on using this particular framework. And then it could be really fun to just like even put the basic like sentence that you came up with into Chat GPT if you want to like keep working on it, workshopping it. But if we want to actually just like take time to share what we came up with so far and help each other workshop it too, we've still got about 15 minutes left to do that. But I'm going to give you a few more minutes just to kind of put it all together in a way that feels good for now, just remembering that it doesn't have to be perfect. You can keep workshopping this as long as you want. You can change it over and over again. And I realize that so many of you are multi-passionate. You've got lots of different things going on. You probably have different aspects of your business or your life that you could have totally different mission statements for. So if there is one particular thing that you kind of were thinking of when you created this mission statement, just remember that you can have a totally different for a different area, different one for another area of your life. So for now, just go ahead and take 2 more minutes at like 2:30. We will take a little bit of time if there's anyone who feels comfortable sharing and wants to keep workshopping a little bit, we can do that. And otherwise, you can definitely use like your little virtual assistant buddy, ChatGPT, if that's something that you've done before, to help you kind of keep workshopping it and make it feel a little bit more conversational. When I created this workbook, I was hosting or like speaking at an in-person event. And so that's why it says to pair up and share your mission statements. But we're not going to do like breakout rooms or anything. Uh, but before we do have a chance to like share and workshop together, maybe just a couple of things that you can reflect on. What words felt most aligned when you said them out loud? So you can just like read it in your head or say it out loud with your microphone muted if you want to see how it feels. And also just kind of reflect on how it feels in your body. And that might just be a signal if it feels good, if it feels complete, or if there are parts of it that maybe feel a little bit sticky still, feel a little bit confusing. And those are the pieces that you can continue to workshop. or maybe ask us some questions, ask us for feedback if you would like it. And so we're not going to do like popcorn style this time. But if you do want any support, if you want to share, um, and if you want to just share to share, you can also say that and say, like, I actually don't really want any feedback. But if you are open to feedback, you can ask and see how that sounds. And so, is there anybody who feels like they want to share or workshop with the group? And if so, Darby, I think you have your hand raised. Cool. It looks like Katie might want to share too. Let's start with Darby, then we'll go with Katie. And then if there's anybody else that wants to do a little workshopping, let's go with it. So go ahead, Darby, and you can unmute.
Yeah, I would love feedback or workshopping this. It like doesn't sound great, but it feels good enough so far. But I help creatives see through the fear of living a misaligned life by empowering uniqueness and building a community of artists because creative authenticity is life-giving and magical.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Wait, can you do it one more time, just a little bit slower?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I help creatives see through the fear of living a misaligned life by empowering uniqueness and building a community of artists because creative authenticity is life-giving and magical.
So good.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any feedback? I feel like I really resonated with that and I loved it. Darby, do you have any like specific pieces that you felt like still needed a little bit of workshopping so that there's somewhere where we can maybe like pinpoint the attention to?
I guess like my question about it is like, does it feel clunky or does it feel right? Like, does it feel like I'm over analyzing each step or does it just feel nice?
I think knowing you, I feel like it feels so authentic. And like hearing your podcast and being a guest on your podcast, which was so fun. That felt very natural. But I guess maybe to somebody else who doesn't necessarily know you, it could sound different. So I would love for anybody else to maybe share their feedback. But I do understand what you mean. Like I've definitely tried to kind of like simplify mine a bit, and that's why using ChatGPT can kind of be helpful because they could, but sometimes that can get a little bit confusing too. So I love like really getting it as close as possible before like dumping it in there. But you could even just like give ChatGPT a prompt or something that says like, could you help make this a little bit more concise or make it a little bit more easy for a stranger or someone to understand? But I absolutely loved it. I felt like it was really, really clear. And especially that you start off with that you help creatives. And like that's just like a really powerful statement at the beginning that can kind of attract that specific listener. And then you're helping them through the fear of, say that part one more time for me.
The fear of living a misaligned life.
Mm, I think that feels really good too.
You.
And like the life-giving part, like, oh,
Mhm.
yes, so good.
Thanks.
Yeah. And I don't think like any of us need to worry about like dumbing it down or it like
Yeah.
being too much because if that feels good to you, if it feels like you need all of those words to like get your message across, I say go for it. And like I said, like you're not necessarily going to be saying this to somebody like in an elevator, like as a like an elevator pitch. So it doesn't have to just be like this like super quick basic thing, especially if you are like putting this on your website or like reading it on your podcast as an introduction or something. I feel like it was really beautiful.
Okay, thanks.
Of course, thank you. Do you feel complete? Anything else you wanted to work through?
No, I feel like that validated the pieces of it that I was feeling uncomfy about. So I feel like that was helpful. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing too. Katie, do you still want to share?
Yeah, I'm good with sharing. I feel like mine kind of sounds very like run-on sentence-y. So I don't know if there's other words I can use to concise it a little bit. So what I have is I help my clients through everyday life by building confidence and creating a clean, welcoming, and relaxing environment because self-care shouldn't be optional.
Hmm. Oh my gosh, I
I don't
love
know
that.
if it's like
Yeah,
too much with like clean, welcoming, relaxing, like if that's too much.
I didn't feel like it was too much. I
Okay.
felt like it was very direct and specific. I think one thing I did notice is that you said your clients, which
Mhm.
absolutely makes so much sense. But if you
Yeah.
wanted to maybe like dig in a little bit more to like who that client is so that you can
Okay.
attract those really like ideal clients.
Uh-huh.
So is there like a specific kind of person that you feel like you want to call in?
Um, so like the majority of my clients who are like in that ideal group, they're like busy working moms, like even like entrepreneurs. It's like people who are busy but still make that time to come to me every 6 weeks just for like a half hour, an hour. And the fact that they still do that with their busy lives, I really love that. So that's my ideal client, but I don't know like how to exactly like put that into words.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that absolutely makes so much sense. And like that, maybe that's just something that you can continue
Yeah.
to reflect on a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, I love that you already had the clarity there. Just
Yeah.
when I asked, like someone who's busy and wants to take care of themselves because that really should not be optional. You need to take care
Yeah.
of yourself to be able to keep going and keep doing all of those things.
I always
Um,
see Darby uses what'd she say? Do you primarily serve women? No, because I have people who use they them pronouns, who he him pronouns. So I don't know like how to put that all together.
Yeah, maybe even just like for now, like just like busy people or
Yeah.
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Whatever feels good there.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the only piece that I noticed that, I felt like could be a little bit more specific,
Okay.
but I loved
Yeah,
everything
I
else.
agree. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Anything else, Katie, that you wanted to kind of like work through?
No, I think that that sounds good as long as it's like through everyday life by building confidence and creating a clean, welcoming, and relaxing environment. Because I feel like that covers all of the services I offer, whether they're coming in for like a relaxing facial or just like a spray tan or a brow service. I wanted to make sure I was like hitting all those points. Um, yeah, if it doesn't sound like run on y, then I think that it's good.
No, so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else want to share or workshop a little bit? No pressure at all. I just wanted to make sure everyone feels like they had the opportunity. Yep. Stella?
Sorry, I have to switch screens to get my mute off.
Oh no.
Um, okay, so mine is I help entrepreneurs through strategic content and personal branding because it helps them to stand out and shine in the world in a way that their ideal audience will relate with.
I love that.
Yeah,
Wait, say it one more time for me, just so that I can hear it all again.
sure. I help entrepreneurs through strategic content and personal branding because it helps them stand out and shine in the world in a way that their ideal audience will relate with.
Mm, I love
Does
that.
it sound like run on y though, or like
No, I think the only thing that I was thinking, just based on this specific framework is that I I realize I think what you are probably getting at is they might struggle with creating like the strategic content on their own.
Right.
And I don't know if that part necessarily um came across. Like maybe there's some way that you could acknowledge that they might struggle with that a little bit
Okay.
more than just saying that like you help them through strategic content. Because I think the word through
Yeah.
has a little bit of like a different meaning. Like you could either be helping them through something or you could help them. Like I feel like you're helping them by giving them the strategic content. And this is totally just what I'm getting from it. So if
Yeah.
you don't have to take any of this if that already feels good for you. But
No,
if
yeah,
there
that
is
makes
some
sense.
way that maybe you could make sure that you're kind of like acknowledging that that might be something that they're struggling with, that you
Okay.
have the ability to really like help them to do with more ease.
Got it.
That might be
Okay.
something to work through there. But I love
Yeah.
that it's specifically entrepreneurs, and
Yeah.
yeah, you're really like helping them to communicate their message through that strategic content. And like I know that is what you do, and you've helped me do the same thing. So yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Oh, uh-oh, I lost
Okay.
my headphone.
Awesome.
What were there any specific parts of it for you that felt like you wanted to workshop on a little bit more?
Yeah, do you feel like entrepreneurs is like a too big of a word, like too broad, or do you feel like that's a good, because I feel like I don't really have a niche. Like I'm just kind of
Mhm.
I do it for every business owner. So I don't really have like a specific type of, does that make sense?
I actually think that entrepreneur is a word that like resonates with people who are entrepreneurs versus just anyone who
Okay.
has a business.
Right.
If that makes sense, because there are like so many different kinds of businesses. Whereas I
Yeah.
feel like entrepreneurship actually is pretty specific in the sense that
Okay.
maybe they are someone who is running their own small business. Anyone else who resonates with the word entrepreneur feel differently or feel like there's like a different word that might like resonate a little bit more? Allie?
Allie.
Yeah. I love the word entrepreneur. I think you should keep it. If anything, if you want to add like an adjective to it, like if
Okay.
it's like multi-passionate or like heart-led or something like that comes to mind, I think that could
Yeah, that's a good idea.
love what you
Okay.
have.
Awesome. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Stella. And how are you guys feeling, Allie and Jess? Would you like to workshop yours? Absolutely no pressure. I'm not calling you out. I just noticed you're the only two other ones still left on the call that haven't shared yet. But uh, totally up to you.
Mm. I can share. It's not super different from my introduction, to be honest, but I
Okay.
can share it. Yeah.
I love that you like came into it with a clear mission. You already kind of like shared your mission at the beginning, so that was really powerful.
Thank you. Um, okay, so I help fellow dreamers move out of survival mode by creating art that joyfully, vibrantly, gently celebrates humanity and nature, because it's in that space where we remember it's safe to keep dreaming. So, lots of words, but they feel right.
I love it. It's so poetic. Yeah, that just feels like you. And like I love that you included fellow
Mhm.
dreamers because that just kind of like from the very beginning to me like sparked this sense of connection and realizing that we're kind of like connected connection. I already used that word. But yeah, I love it. Like your peers and fellow um artists and creatives. So that was really cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Also
Anything
open
that
to any
you
feedback.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if there was like anything particular about it that you felt like you wanted to continue workshopping.
Ooh, I mean, I think right now it's a little word vomity, so I kind of want to like streamline it. But I guess I'm curious if like the feeling came across of like creating that kind of like space of freedom for people to dream, because that's, I don't know, most important to me.
I see a lot of head nods.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yes. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing. And Jess, how are you feeling? You can absolutely just say you're still workshopping, and that is all good.
Yeah, I am still workshopping a little bit. I have like an entire page of notes about the mission statement. So it's all about condensing everything into a sentence. What I have so far is I help small business owners, creatives, and artists build authentic connection with their ideal audience by uncovering and building out their stories visually, because our stories are the most important tool we have to build relationships. So
So
I
good.
don't I'm like, I have so many ideas. I think it like where I'm struggling is I'm like going through this process and thinking about a bunch of copy I want to add to my website. And so I'm trying to just be careful not to add too many components there, but I'm pretty happy with that.
Oh my gosh. I love it. And I like that you have like something specific that you're kind of planning on using it for, like the copy for your website. So yeah, that can definitely be something like a tool to use for any of us. Like maybe you have a different version that is for your Instagram bio or for your website or just something that you want to be able to like share in conversation. So thank you for sharing that too. And just kind of like that reminder that there are a lot of different places that we can use something like this. But I think the last thing that I had to share in my slides was just like about continuing to feel like you can maybe refine it using ChatGPT, or maybe like asking a friend, getting together. Uh, and if there is like anyone in this group that you don't know, I would love for you guys to stay connected. So maybe you just like drop your Instagram handle or like the best way to stay connected, or you want someone to reach out to you in the chat. And if you want to like get together with anybody, I know we're all going to get together in person on the 25th. But to like continue workshopping or something, I would love for you guys to do that. I think the thing that I was most excited for about this was just like bringing a community together. And lastly, yeah, just like keep reflecting on your own through the week. I'm here if you have any questions. You could feel free to email me. I am not always like super active on Instagram, and I think having like multiple, sometimes I end up missing messages. So definitely the best way to get in touch with me is email. And then I realized some people left, so I think instead of dropping the workbook for next week in the chat, I'm just going to send you guys a follow-up email with the recording and with the workshop workbook for next week. So in case you want to just kind of like look at what we're going to be doing a little bit ahead of time, you can. No need, it's not homework. No need to like get started ahead of time or anything. We're going to work through it together next week and make our vision boards. And then I will go over everything that you need to know for our photo shoot day. Any questions before we wrap up for now? I want to let you guys go and have a little bit of downtime for your Sunday. Everyone good? Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. This was so much fun. Thank you guys for being here.
You.
Katie, yeah, and I hope you had fun last night and you maybe like get some rest after this. Tell
Wants to
everyone
go out and
hi.
get straight. I said no.
Alex saw your stories this morning and he was like, thanks for the invite. What the
He wants to come for the Steeler game. He can.
Oh my gosh, is Drew having a Steeler party?
I think we're gonna go to William Penn.
Okay, cool.
That's what
All
we did
right.
last week, and they won. So we're like, we have to do everything exactly the same again.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love this
Yeah,
group so much. Thank
go
you
back
guys
to
for
Thanks,
spending some of
Shannon.
your Sunday with me. I love you all and keep an eye out from an email from me to be honest, probably tomorrow. So
Okay.
go ahead and enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will see you guys next Sunday. And it'll be so nice to just have a few weeks in a row where we get to hang out.
Yay.
Thank
Hey.
you.
Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
guys so much.
Thank you,
Bye
Shannon.
bye. See ya.
See ya.